Actually, before we get into the memes here, there was like a little video from Willy I wanted to watch. I've actually been wanting to watch this video for a little while. I just never really got to it. It's basically talking about, I believe, like the SOM, the new servers and stuff like that. Like, the video is titled "A Tale of Two Mega Servers." So I kind of wanted to watch this real fast, boys. I've been meaning to watch it for a while. Just been doing other stuff, but let's just see what Willy has to say about this real fast, okay, boys?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Willy here. Servers, we all have one. Yep. It's a key part of Classic, and something which has changed, in the opinions of many, for the worse over the...
I already have watched the Matt Season 2 videos, and it's on the YouTube as well.
...years on retail. However, our current state of affairs is beginning to, well, degrade.
Wait,
quite a bit, really. It's a topic I'm starting to see pop up more and more, and that is the rate at which servers are emptying as the top few absorb their player bases, creating mega servers. There are, as of now, 2 servers, Benediction NA and Firemore EU, with populations of over 20,000 active players. And that's...
Bro, when you look at it like this, look how, like, skewed the servers are, man. Like, Pyrowood Village, 77% Alliance, 62%, Benediction is 84% Alliance. There's 19,000 Alliance and 3.5k Horde. Firemore is like the only one that's like really like balanced, if you look at it like that. Like Gehenna's used to be 50-50 almost, Ferulina used to be almost 50-50. Man, this is crazy. Like, and it's because in TBC people are migrating to like different places, right? They're migrating to other servers where there's more people to play with, because in TBC the world is not as important as it is in Classic, so people just don't really care about it, right? They just want to play where people are, so... And it just starts this, like, ripple effect of people leaving, right?
That's only like, based upon weekly arenas and Warcraft log entries. Yes, people have alts, but this is skipping out so much of the casual crowd. How many of you guys have experienced one of the following? You felt it necessary to transfer to continue enjoying the game, your server has become heavily one-faction dominant from transfers or leaders, or your server has just died because everybody is...
It's just not fun play. If let's say Kevin, you know, Kevin in the chat is playing a orc male rogue, right? And he's like, there's like 20% of horde on the server. It's just not fun, right? It's just not fun playing like with that little people, because first of all, the world is dominated by Alliance and you just can't get groups for everything, right? So obviously Kevin wants to join Comics that's playing on, you know, Fairyland server, like he's playing on Dreadnought, whatever server the Comics is playing on, right? So Kevin wants to join Comics because Comics is like, oh, he's playing with all his friends and hanging out, but then like, you know, and it starts this ripple effect of people just leaving the servers and stuff like that. It's just how it is, right?
Is left. I transferred personally at the end of Phase 5 back in Classic. I thought World PvP was going to be a pain in the Burning Crusade, and this was on Gehenna's, and even back then it had an okay faction balance, and it is reflected on Ironforge.pro. We fast forward to how it looks now, and the Alliance are probably going to cease to exist in another 6 months or so. And this is a big PvP server. It had a lot of stability from Classic, with a huge competitive private server player base. And despite that, the faction war has gone too one-sided. In actual...
Look at Ogrimmar, how many people there are. I've seen people... Whenever people like are playing Final Fantasy and they run around the major cities, this is how it looks like for those guys as well. Like, it's so cool seeing so many people around in the city, man.
True vanilla, the server caps were dynamic.
I haven't been playing in a while.
Around 2,500 to 5,000, based on technical limitations, as per Mark Kern in a message here, and he was the team lead on the game. Even in Classic, however, we had so many servers that went way over that, with server caps being speculated to be easily 3 to 5 times as much.
As fun as World PvP is, it's ruining servers. It definitely is. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird conundrum, really, with World PvP, right? Because it is the best thing about Classic, but it can also be the worst, right? It's what makes it the game, but it's also what ruins the game. It's such like a two-way street with those kind of things, right? It really is. Depending on how people toxic are, depending on how toxic people are, but people are very toxic. Trust me, they are. It's just how the game is, man. It is how it is, right? I could imagine, Lila. I could imagine, and a lot of people have actually been recommending me to try out Final Fantasy. I'm yet to pull the trigger on it to actually try it out, but I have been. The amount of people that have recommended to play that game, man, is pretty ridiculous. So let's continue here though and see.
has improved after all, and those first few weeks of Classic, the queues were absolutely something else, where people were remote logging in from work and running into wars to avoid the dreaded timeout. And layering was widely used at that time, though it was pretty rigid and seemed to be needing to be directly turned on or off depending on the circumstance. Layering has also evolved a lot now. It's got cooldown timers to stop the excessive layer please spam, or from dodging PvP too much. More layers appear to also be dynamically added once the server hits a certain threshold. I think on launch of TVC for Pirewood Village, we went...
Look at this, man! It just looks like a, you know, on the TV when you have that little ant war, like... It looks like that, almost. There's so many.
Up to about 12 layers total, and it was very smooth at that, and then it was back down to 5 or 7 by the middle of the night before constantly fluctuating. And layers is how Blizzard solved the overpopulation in Classic, and it works, but it only really works and indeed benefits overpopulation. It doesn't stop it, nor the cause of why it is happening. Now what is currently happening with overpopulation is not the first time it's done so. Retail went this way, and they came up with a solution too, called sharding, except
yeah, I mean, as AIDS, as bad as, like, you know, layers and stuff like that is, it's kind of necessary to a certain degree, right? It almost kind of is, and sharding and stuff like that, because I don't know if you guys remember when I used to be able to speak English, that was way better. But whenever AQ40 release came out, that was like the most laggy mess I've ever been a part of. Like, it was so bad. There was like a 10-minute delay on abilities. I'm not even joking. There was a 10-minute delay on my abilities. It was ridiculous. To be fair, I played on a very populated server too, but it was like, oh my god, it was horrible. It was so bad. I'm doing great though, and by the way, guys, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you guys are doing great.
Unlike layering, which creates an entire copy-paste of the world for players should there be too many, sharding works on an individual zone and even individual location.
This is cool though. This is cool though.
This is why sometimes when you run up to a mining or herb node in retail, it disappears in front of you. And it aims to load balance the max number of players that can be in one place at one time. Too many get there, another shard is created. Now this does two things. It makes vastly overpopulated servers playable and have no queues. So in this way it solves overpopulation just like layering, but it also makes realms which have an extremely low population feel more active, as players from these mega servers are placed onto the same shard as they are. In fact, you only need to be on a particular realm on retail if you want to Mythic Raid. That may be soon to change by what I'm hearing. Mythic Plus, or Arena, I think. Maybe that's changed, I couldn't find out.
I think that, like, servers don't really matter in retail, but the thing is that there needs to be a system like this, right? Because I remember, if you guys have played Nostalrius, which was like a private server for Classic WoW or Vanilla WoW, the way they handled that is that there was no layers and there was no sharding. There was just extremely low render distance. If you don't know what render distance is, it's basically like how far you can see before other players and mobs render in. So the more people there would be, the lower the render distance would be. It would just be like very, very low at the end, right? But that server became very, very popular too. But there needs to be some sort of system for those kind of things, right? You guys like that new emote? It's very good.
And any info on it. So based on this, who is going to see the most benefit from sharding then? The people that aren't bothered about those activities, the ones who only play every so often, or who come back for patches.
Look at this,
the casual player base. Layering does help casuals on big servers as it eliminates queues, but when realms get dead and people start to leave, it does literally nothing. Sharding isn't there, so it's either $25 to move, hope Blizzard offers free transfers, which they did, but just really, really late, re-roll to a different server, barely anybody's going to do that, or just say, you know what, screw this, I'm out, because the auction house will be empty. There'll be no dungeons going, no LFD, no raids because no LFR, there'll be no guilds, no pugs, certainly no arena. There will be battlegrounds as their cross-server, as well as your post-apocalyptic solo Warcraft RP, but that's about it. You really need a decent server.
Oh my god. Dude, they're all so one-sided. This is crazy. Look how one-sided they are. I mean, this is ridiculous.
You really need a decent server population on Classic. On the 16th of November.
And they're dead. Oh my god, I didn't even look at the numbers. They're just dead. They're not even that they're one-sided. They're literally just dead. 11 people, 44 people, 61 people, 182 people, 800 people. 3. There's 2 people on the Heartstriker. What is it, like a couple playing there together? It's like a man and a wife just like doing dead mines, like struggling or something. Oh my gosh.
Remember, this year Blizzard opened up free transfers for many servers in the Burning Crusade who were on a downwards death spiral. Now, every single one of them is mega dead. I checked a few of them at peak times over the weekend, and yeah, see...
Dude, they don't even have enough people to kill Stitches and Duskwood. That's ridiculous.
The amounts of people online for yourself, and the game will even still allow you to roll here as a new player. Imagine making that mistake. And on Ironforge.pro, there are plenty of servers that 1 or 2 months ago had a weekly peak player base of 2,000 to 3,000, and now they are all literal
24.
ghost towns. Gandling, Kurtanos, Skerim, Incendius, that server's been...
Guys, WoW is not dying, right? Right? We're fine, right, boys? Yeah, we're fine. Seriously, right? Man, what would I... If I didn't have hardcore, what would I be doing? I was questioning this myself a little bit yesterday. I was like, bro, if I was not doing hardcore, what would I be doing? It was because like that's been like my main stuff I've been doing for so long, right? That's been like the things that's making me really excited to play the game. Oh my gosh.
Been one hell of a roller coaster.
I can't go back to WoW after playing Final Fantasy. I've seen a lot of people say that. TBC alts. Oh god.
The list goes on. And where did Blizzard allow these realms to transfer to?
Dude, look at that.
Yep, the literal biggest realm in the entire world.
It's like a crash.
I mean, where else would they go? Imagine they opened up a bunch of transfers to medium population servers. It's an upgrade, sure, but not by a whole lot. At least you know there is certainly a population on Benediction or on Firemore. And people are already asking for transfers and mergers on Season of Mastery too, as guess what? People want to play on the Mega server because it's an MMORPG, and the first two M's, as it turns out, are pretty important to your experience. As far as I'm aware, for North America, it's John Gabar for PvP or Obsidian Edge for PvE, and in EU, it's Dreadnought for PvP and Kingsfall for PvE. I did some Ulteric Valley last night, and well, you can see for yourself the proportion of...
It's the same thing. Yeah, you can look Dreadnought, 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 and Dreadnought. It's just... Yeah, it's just one big server. Everybody's on that one server. And like, how can you blame people, right? I don't know. You can't really blame people because you want to be on the server where everybody's playing, because that's more fun, right? It's more fun being a part of everybody. You know, you want to be where the action is happening. TY just got rank 14. This guy, yeah, rank 4. People just hit rank 14. I think the first rank 14 people
of where players were. In fact, a lot of
oh my god, look at that. Dreadnought, 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 Dreadnought. Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
Mastery won't even have enough player base for a bracket 1 slot without excessive pool boosting. And in Classic in 2019, it took till around Phase 2 before Blizzard opened up transfers. It'll happen eventually in Season of Mastery.
This was
usually
fun.
the day before I post a video like this if I can convince Fate once again. And the thing is, Blizzard do have the tech to... well, not merge servers, but connect. So they did it when Classic Era dropped, where instead of combining the populations, they keep their names and their guilds, and then just have the server in addition to that. Pretty simple. So why isn't this being used in more cases where it probably should be? Well, I'm starting to see the dollar signs. Transfers equal money. But how much money? You know, before actually trying to get some numbers, I bet the amount they made off of them would be very little. But let's see. First of all, the profit margin for the transfers must be nearly 100% because they're entirely automated. That's one good thing going for them. Let's say, this is going to have to be real hypothetical, but let's say about 20% of the players shown in Ironforge.pro have bought a transfer in Q3 of this year.
And now you can't see this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be at the right place. What? 100,000, 313,000.
So that would be around 60,000 players in the space of 4 months. I don't think the number will be this high, but just for the sake of it. So it'll be 60,000 times $25. That's 1.5 million. Not bad. 1.5 small loans right there. How much did Blizzard make in Q3, which ended November 2nd? 493 million. And 1.5 million as a percentage of 493 million is 0.3%. 0.3, and I think that is using numbers which would be considerably above the...
It's so crazy how, like, they're making more money, but there's less and less people playing. It's so insane.
The amount of transfers they're actually getting. And as a percentage of their operating income or actual profit, which is probably a better number due to the cost efficiency of transfers, is around 0.8%.
That's a lot.
0.8% of income from something which has zero input. I don't know, actually. That's not too bad, is
that's
it?
That's
for a company like Blizzard, each record is just a new benchmark. You absolutely bet yourself they're squeezing as hard as possible to find new places to dig up some extra revenue. You can apply this to any big business you want too. This isn't even a Blizzard bad thing. Just look at the state of Kellogg's at the moment. There are people whose jobs it is...
I don't know why. Kellogg's? I mean, it's not funny. Don't get me wrong, it's not funny. It was just like a weird comparison. You go from WoW and then he just brings up Kellogg suddenly. It's not funny, don't get me wrong. Kellogg sacks 1,400 workers after 2-month strike. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. It was just a comparison. I didn't really expect that, okay?
Is to find out how to make more money using current resources in any way possible.
I thought he was going to compare it to like another gaming company, but it doesn't matter what company it is. But it was just like okay, that's just me, all right?
Quality of life features at work, cutting corners, firing staff after a record year.
Wait, obviously, this is not just a WoW thing. Like, these things, it's like everywhere. It's not just Blizzard or Activision. It's so many places these things happen. It's just, it sucks, but it happens everywhere, man. It's freaking ridiculous.
Which happened at Blizzard. They don't care if you're playing a game, buying a phone, or on a plane. As long as the bottom line is bigger, it is a win. This is how business works. We're getting a bit off topic, but the point is, transfers are small, but they matter. They matter overall just as much as anything else does. We didn't even talk about factions yet either, which really don't help. Half the reason servers are emptying is because, oh boy, I only died 3 times tonight to get into SSC, or okay guys, BRB whilst the healer gets to dungeon, because insert of a faction is ganking at the summoning stone at the moment, is not fun if you are on the receiver.
Griefing is very big in Classic. I think that's like the biggest drawback for probably a lot of people, that like, it's just such a griefable game. If you're playing on PvP server, it can be so difficult to even play the game. It's the charm of the game, but it's also what makes it, like, for a lot of people very off-putting, I would assume, right? And I think it's just gotten more and more popular, I guess, to do that since with the years coming, right? It's more and more people play that game in that way, right? Griefing people's world boss was fun. Griefing is the best thing. Personally, I don't really see the point of it. I would rather just do other stuff, but I do understand why people enjoy doing it, right? Like why you like go killing someone with world buffs or doing things like that. I do understand it, but for a lot of people, that is the game, right? That's like that's what they play the game for. You know what I mean?
Receiving end. Players are not only sorting themselves into mega servers, but ones where they are the biggest pool of players. At the end of the day, it's up to Blizzard to regulate it. Players are making the most of the situation.
You understand it? I mean, yeah, I can understand why they think it's fun. That doesn't mean I think it's enjoyable. I think it's like a cool thing to do, but I understand why people do it. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand the mindset of why you would do it, but I just don't really see the point of it personally, of doing it. That is, right? Because I feel like there's plenty of other ways to like enjoy myself. Have more fun stuff, right? Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
And the solutions that are offered. It's just like the ranking system in Classic where people pull boost and bracket stack. It's all about gaming the system for your benefit because Blizzard have the power to connect servers.
Yeah, it's not for me. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. It's not something I like doing. I mean, you guys know that. I mean, by the way I play the game, I don't really do that. But yeah, like camping Minethil Harbor. Well, when I did that, it wasn't when I was ranking. It wasn't to grief people. It was because I was trying to rank up my levels. I was trying to get rank 14. And to get rank 14, I needed to kill other players, to get the ranks. So it wasn't, the purpose of the thing wasn't to grieve. It wasn't to like ruin other people's experience. It was to make sure that I could get the honor that I needed for my ranks. You know what I mean? So there was a purpose behind that for me in that regard, right? So yeah. I think people grieve also because of streamers, because they think it's fun to affiliate streamers raid and maybe get some exposure. That's definitely that's definitely a big reason as well. But it's a very, very small minority of people that only do it towards streamers, right? It's a very just like a standard thing to do in the game, right? This is how it is.
Can regulate faction populations if they really wanted to, and it's Blizzard that chooses how many servers there are, not
Thank you
or me. It's honestly too far gone at this point. Things will get worse in Wrath of the Lich King. Arena already had a few servers that were going to be populated solely because of that. Tier 5 has not been easy for a lot of guilds who have fallen apart or lost to the inevitable roster boss and then transferred off to the mega servers. Where else would you go? Imagine how things will look when you're recruiting for hard mode Ulduar, Trial of the Grand Crusader, or ICC 25 Heroic. It'll be tier 5 turnover on steroids. So, yeah, that's basically what happened on retail, and it's happening on Classic, but we don't have sharding to fix it, and people would absolutely lose their minds if Blizzard tried to put this in the game. I think layering is fine, but up to a certain point, and if things don't change, people will continue to choose the mega servers, and they will gradually absorb all the small and dying ones. There are 25, literally 100% dead realms last time I checked.
Oh my god. Jesus. That's
25 of them on live TBC.
That's a lot. 0
raiding logs recorded per week, 0 arena games, and there are 25 of them, and that number's only going to continue to grow. $25 at a time.
I definitely think the release of Classic was something special, and I don't think we're gonna get anything like that from WoW again, where like Classic release was something so unique, man. Like SOM, don't get me wrong, I love SOM. I'm having a lot of fun playing hardcore and doing all the memes and stuff like that, but Classic launch was just so unique, man. It was so different.
They try and say at the end, well, XYZ could help or ABC would fix it, but
I'm joining SOM right now. I'm having fun with the
time travel.
I'm having fun with the hardcore stuff I'm doing and everything like that, and it's very chill for me, for sure.
To do anything about this, you'd have to give people a real incentive not to pick the biggest servers or block transfers in some way. Until then,
Classic Plus will be the next big thing. I've said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Yeah, I do think for Classic Plus or for SOM Season of Mastery to become big, it has to be something like innovative, right? It has to be something where like, okay, Scarlet Crusade raid, or let's go to Emerald Dream or Hyjal or something, right? They need to like make an actual Classic Plus and make like go in a completely different direction with it, right? It's either that or you just keep releasing the same game over and over again, right? And there are some people who would just like doing that, but I do think like something like that would be really, really sick, right? Just give us Classic fresh, same as we got in 2019. I mean, yeah, that could be a way to do it too, but I think like Classic Plus would be just super fun, and it's the same way that RuneScape does it exactly. Yeah, Irapomo, exactly. Like RuneScape has that thing where they vote on the thing, and the game changes in regards to how people vote on it and stuff like that. It could be a different way of doing it as well. Obviously, I'm not like a developer. I'm not like, I don't know what should be best. I can only really give my opinion on what I think it would be cool. I think for me personally, fresh Classic without Classic wouldn't be interesting. I just think for me, I played Classic so much, you know. I do think fresh is fun, and I probably would play a fresh if it was just standard fresh, but I've just played it so much. That's why I was a little bit hyped about the SOM too, with a little bit of different take on the game and different take on Classic and stuff like that, right? It's interesting thing, I think. Classic community is very split. Community wanted batching. Blizzard gave it batching. Everybody hated batching. It's not just the Classic community that's split in Linux. It's just the general WoW community. The thing, I've said this before, but the WoW community is so split. Okay, so there is the Classic community, there's the TBC community, there's the retail community, and then within those 3 communities, there's sub-genres of people, and those sub-genres of people all hate each other. Like Mythic Plus people, arena Andes, raid people, people that do hardcore, people that do Iron Man stuff, PvP people in TBC, arena people. You know, there's just so many different genres of people, and they all just hate each other. So it's just really hard, right? It's very hard to make everybody happy because it's such a split community, and it's actually a very, very tough position to be in, I think, right? It really is. But yeah, let's see what he's going to say.
Get your tickets. Mega servers are here to stay and growing by the day. That's about all. Let me know your thoughts, whether this has affected you at all. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I shall see you on the next one.
There it is.
See you soon.
There it is. Willy. Nice. There it is, guys. I'll link his video in the chat if you guys want to go check out Willy. He is a very, very nice YouTuber. He makes some really good, like, educational, not educational, but like informational videos about WoW and like other MMOs as well. So go check out the video, boys. He makes some really good videos. Willy is a good boy. So there that is.